Call on me when you're tired, and I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you. For together we rise, walking hand in hand to Zion. We will send our praises high, and I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Of course, I'm Elder Rawchaa coming before you. I missed you all. Before I give you this humble thank you, I would like to give all praises to Ahaya Bahashim Yeshaya Rawchaa, the Most High God of Israel, in the name of Christ through the Holy Spirit. And I just wanted to thank you all for all the prayers that you've been sending our way, my family's way, my mother's way, for the last couple of weeks. And of course, yes, I miss you all. I miss you. I missed you all, and been pretty busy. But yeah. But I wanted to thank you all for the prayers you've put out there for the last couple of weeks. I know you looked up and trying to wonder where I was. I finally got up today and say, you know what? I told my brother, I'm like, listen. I said, listen, we got to clean up and get ourselves together and get back, get back on the horse here. It's been 2 weeks of taking my mother to different hospitals, trying to figure out what was going on. She's up in age. She's almost 80 years old. As a matter of fact, she would be 80 this coming February. And it's hard to really get a diagnosis on what's actually happening when it comes to sicknesses today. Because everything is being filtered when you go into the hospital through the C word. And it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. They're trying to apply that instead of trying to really get to the core issues. And that's been my experience. But I more so leaned on some of the knowledge I have with the truth and dealing with my mother wishes on how she wanted to be cared for to make sure she would get the proper care and not have her fall under some felonious number. And it's been heart-wrenching. It's been a battle. Frankly, it's been a battle. It's been one of the more trying times of my life. We only get one mother, So, this is a tough time to be sick. And if I had to navigate through things with the knowledge I have, and it was a weight through these trials on me. I can't imagine what the world is going through without the knowledge. And others who are in the truth, who hasn't really, you know, been in the faith enough to build enough fortitude to fight. If it's weighing on me, you know hey, the devil is shooting some arrows, but you know what? I said, you know what? He's not going to knock me down. Okay? He's not going to knock me down, and this is nothing that my family would want or my mother would want. And the whole time I'm trying to do everything, she's trying to get me, I'll be okay. I'm like, no, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to make sure we figure out what's going on. So there is no C word. She's negative there. And we finally found out what the core issue is, something she'd been struggling with for a few years. I just left her in the hospital, and the prayers are still going out there. She's a fighter. The nurse and doctor both said she is a fighter. So we found out what the core issue is. She had swelling in certain areas of hands and things of that nature. And that led the doctor to a core diagnosis that had nothing to do with the C word. So I thank the Most High that it wasn't that, and the fact that the family could see her, it wasn't no separation and all that. We got to the core issue of what she's still struggling with medically. I just left her in the hospital. I prayed with her. I left her with my brother, and I'll be back 9 in the morning to pray with her again and to talk with her and to try to encourage her, okay, through this. Of course, I'll keep you all updated. I'll keep you all updated concerning these times. But it's been a trial. And one thing through it all, don't forget, folks, I mean, me and my brother, my family, I mean, at one time I stayed up for a span of 48 hours straight. 48 hours straight. And then I'll sleep a few hours and be up. And then I was up near almost 24 hours straight. Wasn't able to do the academy. I said, listen, we're going to take a week off. I'm sure the family is going to understand. And I'll get back on the horse this coming Wednesday, the Sabbath, academy. And but I mean, me and my brothers were wrecks. We were wrecks. You know, we're still going through it. She's still with us. But we were wrecks. But the Most High, through the Spirit, one morning the Most High had in my mind while I was asleep, and it said, calm. Be calm. Why? There's some things in this earth that none of us can fix. And I'm exhausting everything I have, everything I know, all the time, bags under my eyes. And the Most High just said, listen, calm. Don't try to force anything. And I'm like, all the people I've helped go through this is my mother. What about my mother? He's like, listen, calm. And a few scriptures came to me at that time. And I'm going to share those scriptures with you all tonight. Because my mother, either way, is going to be all right. She's going to be all right. The Most High put a calm over me that I've never experienced before. And we got up, cleaned ourselves, got groomed, changed our clothes, me and my brother, and said, listen, this is what mommy want. She don't want us sulking. Okay? We got ourselves together, and I said, you know what? I'm going to share some of the scriptures that was given to me tonight. And I prayed with my mother tonight, and I prayed over her. Yeah. Yeah. I prayed over her. The other week in the other day in the emergency room, and my mother was baptized already, but she was like, she says, Junior, baptism. And I took some water, and I was just, because she couldn't get up, so I just took water and poured it over and praying over. I closed the door, and we was praying together. We were praying together. And I say, Mommy, don't leave me. She says, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm going to be with you through all this. She says, I know you've always there. You know, it's just rough. It's just a tough time. I remember about 6 years ago, I got a phone call where my brother said that I was overseas, and my brother said, Mommy's not getting out of the bed. And I'm just letting you know that even if she don't make it, at least come back, whatever the case is, for a funeral or whatever. She's not getting out of the bed. And it was 6 years ago. And I got my brother on the phone, and I said, listen, don't talk like that around her. She couldn't get out of the bed. I says, let me come back, and I'm going to see what's going on with her. I looked at her medicine schedule, and I seen that a lot of what she was exhibiting were the side effects of some of the medications. And we began to talk to the doctor, wean her off the medications, started making sure her health was right, cleaned up the place. And the next thing you know, within 2 weeks, she was out and about again, her old self. So I told my brother, I'm like, you thought we was going to lose her 5-6 years ago. I'm like, it's through the Most High who gives the issues of death. Okay? So, and I told him, like, look, listen, you called me 6 years ago. I came back, cleaned up her place, end up getting her a better place to live in, because I always said I would do that for Mom. And she lived 6 years past the time that you thought she would be gone from us. I'm like, so it's all in the hands of the Most High. Never give up. Never give up. I'm like, listen, she did a great work in this earth. She raised her children. And she brought forth a teacher in this earth within the last days that could make an impact and bring brothers and sisters, put brothers and sisters on the path to Christ's kingdom. That's a great work. The Most High gifted her to bring something in the earth that would not just sit back, but would help change things. And I'm like, and I told my brother, she is to be respected. She is to be honored like a queen who gave birth to princes. Who have given birth to princes. A daughter of Zion, to be honored. And I'm like, that's all we see. Every prophet, every teacher, every disciple, even up until the point of Christ, they all had mothers. And guess what? They all were to be honored. All the mothers who brought forth teachers who could make an impact. And I told my brothers, the heavens seen these days. They knew who would come through and would bring forth those who would stand in our time of trouble. So the last thing I was going to do was allow her to be another number based on some new thing that have just come. Okay, I wasn't going to allow that. She's to be honored and respected as the daughter of Zion. As the daughter of Zion, the mother, the nurturer, the carer. The person who loved and always thought more so for other people than herself. She is to be honored as a woman, a daughter of Zion who brought forth princes and prophets. And I'll always honor her. Okay? How? By finishing. By finishing. Okay? That's how. By finishing. What was started years ago when she brought me forth into this earth to finish what I was born to do. So the devil think he can knock us down and give us blows to a degree that the righteous and those who see would yield. But nah. Okay? He hit, and with us and the angels in Christ, we hit back twice as hard. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, through trial and tribulation, I know what we were called to do. I know what I was called to do. And it was something that I couldn't do for the last 2 weeks. What I was born to do, which is teach this word. So I'm going to continue to teach this word because I understand that's why the devil is trying to hit everything on the outside of me. Everything is being hit so that I can look, nah. And hey, one brother said, well, listen. And he said, and it was the truth. One brother said, well, listen. If I was the enemy, I would try to attack because the work y'all doing is bringing forth much fruit. And you know what? Something resonated with me when he said that. Because I'm whole. I'm good. Of sound mind. But this devil is trying to hit and attack everything around me to distract, to slow up. So you know what? I'm like, you know what? Brothers and sisters, like I said, I got up. The Most High said, calm. I got up and cleaned myself up and said, you know what? Let's do it. I'm going to teach. I'm going to continue to tear down these lies that have blinded our people. I'm going to continue. I'm going to stand stronger than I've ever stood before. And now I have another reason to pull more bricks out of this satanic tower called Babylon. Let me read this real quick, which applies. My son, if thou come, I'm at Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, the 2nd chapter. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation, the tempter. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Yet that fear of the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest you fall. That means sometimes things not working or things not going exactly how we think it should go, but the Most High has it. He says right here, ye that fear the Most High, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. So sometimes we're in that in between waiting period, and sometimes people lose patience and believe that the Most High, that the Most High has abandoned them, he or she. But no, the Most High got you in that waiting point to see if your faith is as strong as you claim. Ye that fear the Lord hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. That's all we can do is hope for it. The 10th verse. Look at the generations of old and see that ever any trust in the Most High and was confounded. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Most High is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So those that are faint-hearted and fearful, there's no defense for people like that. That means through all this distraction, this stupor, we must have what? You got it. We must have courage. Or the Most High will not defend. The Most High do not defend cowards. The Lord is a man of war. He's a man of war. So through sickness, through being wounded, broken bones, no matter what it is, a real warrior get themselves up, patch themselves up to do what? To finish the battle. 11. I'm at 12. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. That means a double-minded person. That's why I ain't let none of this crap confuse me that they're dealing with out there. They have set a system to confuse the people on purpose. And those that are not standing on the Most High will faint, will fall. Okay? And if they can, like I said earlier, if they can put pressure and apply pressure to a degree where I had to actually be somewhere, and I wouldn't have changed anywhere for 2 weeks for my mother, to a degree where, don't forget, I'm gonna tell you right now, this isn't an easy battle I'm in. Okay. So I can't imagine what other people without the word, without the foundation, without the support we have, I can't imagine what the world is going through right now under this stupor. 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience. Woe means destruction, folks. And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Most High will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. Another thing the Most High showed me the other night, while I was sleeping, I got up, I got myself together and said, you know what, I'm ready. That this is a battle for the temple. It's up here. The temple is within us now. It's not the physical temple that was destroyed by the Roman Empire. That's why Satan is putting out all this confusion and fear so that he can take up what? He can take up occupancy in our temple. See? And that's the confusion. We're trying to weigh the confusion of this world, the deceit of this world. And we're trying to weigh it with the temple that the Most High have given us to stand on him. And that's the confusion. Nah, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Either we're going to believe what they're saying out there, or we're going to stand in the temple and believe on our God. So Satan wants to be what? He want to stand in the temple of God to show that he's God. So if we believe and deal with everything they're saying, guess what? He's in our temple. It's a battle for our minds, brothers and sisters. Because after they take the temple, everything else falls. Once they get up here, like they took the temple in 70 AD, after that, we were scattered throughout the earth. Once the mind is taken, the temple, everything else follows. So this is a psychological battle so that Satan can take occupancy in our minds if it's allowed. I'm not allowing it. People can call me crazy. They can call me dismissive. They can call me, well, do you believe this and do you believe that? And listen, no one is going to tempt me to think of this thing as anything than what I've seen from the beginning after what I've gone through for the last couple of weeks. If this is what they were saying it was, they wouldn't have all these deceitful hurdles and all these different answers when you ask. It wouldn't be so confusing from one place you go to the next. If it was exactly like they say it is, it wouldn't take all of this deceit for them to pull this off. And I'm not going to allow Satan to take residence up in my temple. It starts with what? It starts with confusing you. And from that confusion, instilling doubt in you to have you second guess yourself. That's what's going on in the world today. And if I had to struggle and battle through it and overcome it, I pray for those who don't have the understanding that the Most High bestowed upon us. Because what? It is a battle, and it has been a battle. Let me finish reading. 12. Woe to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that hath lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? When the Most High will ask, why didn't you wait for me? Why did you lose faith? What will you do when the Most High asks, when he visits you and asks, why did you lose faith? Did not I say that Jacob would go through this trouble? 15. They that fear the Most High will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Most High will seek which is well-pleasing unto him, and that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Most High will prepare thy hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. See? A real man or woman of the Most High is saying, well, listen, I'm going to fall in the hands of the Most High and not in the hands of men. For as his majesty, so is his mercy. Folks, we went from hospital. Everything they want is the C word. And then we come to find out at the very end, it was none of that. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not satisfied with what have plagued my mother. But all in all, I'm glad there's some resolve that I got an answer to what happened and what led her to such a state. It's been years that have led her to this moment where she's battling a sickness. It's nothing like what? It's nothing like something something that happens to a loved one without any closure to what actually happened to them. And this is that era of what's going on right now where everything is a C word and families don't even realize what really happened. So I thank the Most High that through all this, and guess what, folks? I had to go through a lot to get to this moment because I wasn't just going to go by, I was going to go to this doctor, this hospital. We was going to find out what it was because there was other sicknesses before 2020. And I thank the Most High that he gave me resolve to at least find out what she was actually dealing with. Okay? And what she's dealing with now. Okay? Let me read this real quick also. Let me read this. 1 second. I'm going to 2 Corinthians real quick. I'm going to 2 Corinthians 11. I'm going to read that. But now before I read that, again, I'm just thanking you all for your prayers out there. I just wanted to come in real quick and let you all know that I'm encouraged and that you all out there, you need to stay encouraged. That through this battle, that's right, there's going to be a lot of heartache on either side. I mean, even when our people came out of Egypt, there was a mourning throughout all the earth. Throughout all the earth, there was a mourning. All around, even in Goshen. For those who didn't have the blood on the door, throughout all of Egypt, there was a mourning during the time of plagues, where almost every household, directly or indirectly, was being affected by each and every plague. And that's the time we're living in right now. And we're going to have to endure and not get caught up with the stupor and confused to what this is. And I'm going to be going more into that this coming Wednesday, if it be the Most High's will. So don't think that we're going to go through something different than our forefathers before the Exodus. Okay? If our forefathers had to go through all these plagues and hear the crying throughout all of Egypt before the Exodus, do not believe that, hey, everyone is going to have someone who's affected one way or the other. And then there's the other dynamic outside of the plagues. The other dynamic we have to deal with is, and I'm going to be going into that coming into the Sabbath, is the fact that before the Most High sent the flood on the earth during the time of Noah, he put down all the elderly and righteous who were not born to suffer the destruction. Okay? He put all the righteous and the elderly to sleep so that they would not be condemned with the wicked. So there's another dynamic happening also. Okay? There's a deliverance and a destruction simultaneously going on. It's like we're dealing with the time of Noah and the Exodus the same exact time. And there's no time to be sulking, sticking our head in the sand, woe is me. No, the devil isn't slowing up in his war against us. We must stand and be courageous in the spirit of the Almighty to finish the work. So where do we go? John the 2nd chapter, before Christ would give his body as that living sacrifice, he spoke with Peter. John 21:15. So when they had dined, Yeshua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? Do you love me more than these other people? More than the other disciples? Do you love me more than all of these? And he said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, this is what he said to Peter, feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him a third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time. He was getting frustrated. What, you don't trust me? I said, I love you, Lord. Said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest I love all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. And Yeshua said unto him, Feed my sheep. 21 and 18. Verily, verily, I say unto thee that when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thine hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee, whither thou wouldest not. Then spake he, signifying by the death he should glorify the Most High. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, Follow me. So at the end of the day, we must stand and do what we were called to do. Through adversities, through attacks, through sicknesses, even through death. If we love Christ, we must continue to feed his lamb and feed his sheep and be that strength and that courageous rock that would give total strength and confidence to those who would believe. And you know what? All of this came to me between the other day and last night when I said, let me clean up, get myself together, get groomed. And I told my brother, I'm like, listen, we can't be crying and all this every day. Okay? We can't be like this every day where our eyes are red and, our hair is all, and our clothes isn't. I'm like, no. We have to honor our mother. We have to honor her as a queen who brought forth princes. Okay? Get ourselves together. It's time to get ourselves together as individuals, get in this work and feed the Most High's sheep. And I didn't just say that. I was speaking to myself too, but I was speaking to my brother. I'm like, I don't know what you've been doing, but guess what? At the end of the day, this truth will be the only job going. It's going to be the enemy who's doing his job, facing off against the righteous who are doing ours. And everyone in the middle is going to be spewed out. It's going to be too many people to carry. Choose a side. So everything the Most High blessed us with in this day to bring forth this work is to preserve those who appreciate it. It's time. It's time to feed the flock, feed the sheep. I'm going to end it here, and then after that, I'm going to wish you all Godspeed. Just thought it would I thought that it was time for me to come before you all to let y'all know exactly as much as I could what was going on. I mean, we receive an overwhelming we've been inundated with email, well wishes, text, you name it, and it's been overwhelming. And I know your prayers are out there, all right? And you know what? They've been felt, okay? And I wanted to first and foremost to come on here and tell you all, first and foremost, I thank you all, okay? A lot of what we do in spreading the word and encouraging others cannot be done without what? Your prayer, your constant support for this work. Your encouragement, because sometimes you encourage us and you don't know what type of day I'm having. You don't know what type of day. And a lot of the encouragement comes at the right moment. Someone will send an email, or I open up a letter, or I'll see something that I know the Most High have sent this person to say this. I know the Most High. I read a letter and be like, this is exactly what I needed. Okay? Exactly. Y'all don't know. We fuel each other. This is the body of Christ. So I wanted to come on and say, listen, y'all don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Okay? Continue to pray for me, and I'm going to do what the Most High have called me to do. But don't worry for me. I know it's been a couple of weeks and all that. I didn't go anywhere, but this is pressing. We only get one mother. We only get one mother. Okay? So I want to thank you all for everything you've done in your prayers and support during this ordeal, okay? During this 2-week ordeal. Let me read this out real quick. Read this out. I'm in 2 Corinthians 11. And yes, hey, if it be the Most High will, like I said, I'll be right back on the horse this coming Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow, don't worry about it. I'm girding up, okay? Now, 2 Corinthians 11 and 16. This is Paul, right? I say again, let no man think me a fool. If otherwise, yet as a fool. Receive me that I may boast myself a little. That which I speak it not after the Most High, but as it were foolishly in this confidence of boasting. Seeing that many glory after the flesh, I will glory also. For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing yourselves are wise. It's because why? Most people indulge in foolishness. So Paul said, well, since foolishness is what many people indulge in, and that's where everyone cleave to and follow and look to give ear to. Let me become a fool for a moment for you. For you suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourselves are wise. For ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, whereinsoever any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Oh yeah, I'm at 2 Corinthians, brothers and sisters, 11 and 22. 11 and 22. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool, I am more. In labors, more. Abundant in stripes above measures, that means being whipped. In prisons, more frequent. In deaths, often. Escaping death. Traveling. Doing things, spreading the gospel with threats of being thrown in prison. Buses being stopped in the middle of the night, not realizing whether or not they're going to take you off somewhere. Folks, you name it. I've been there to teach the gospel. of the Jews 5 times received 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice was I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. That's right. Paul was actually drifting off from a shipwreck, holding a piece of wood 24 hours until the Most High had someone come and save him, and who could see him. And back then, they didn't have the technology like the Navy and the helicopters coming out to find people back then. In journeyings often, in pearls of waters, in pearls of robbers, in pearls by mine own countrymen. That means persecuted by our own people. In pearls by the heathen, even the Gentiles. In pearls in the city, in pearls in the wilderness, in pearls in the sea, in perils among false brethren. That means brethren that was amongst you, who you called friends, brethren. And the whole time they would have resentment, contempt, hatred, and not once would they express that in their hearts. 27. In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. That means it doesn't matter what the personal attacks are. There was a special care for all the work that was built for every church that belonged to Christ. Who is weak? And I am, it says, who is weak? And I am not weak. Who is offended? And I burnt not. If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern mine infirmities. The Most High and Father of our Lord Yeshua, the Anointed, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. In Damascus, the governor under Aretas, the king, kept the city of the Damascenes with a garrison, desirous to apprehend me. They had places for torture waiting for Paul. I don't think they don't have these things and wait for the saints today. And through a window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped his hands. Brothers and sisters, I have many testimonies and trials in this work. Many. But it meant nothing to me doing what I needed to do to go over the whole earth to spread the gospel. Because I didn't fear what could happen to me personally. That I take cheerfully. But the last 2 weeks have been trying. Okay? I can take anything coming at me because I know as long as the Most High have a purpose in me on this earth for this work, he'll sustain me. Okay? He'll sustain me if it be his will. So I never feared what could happen to me. I was born for those battles. But the last 2 weeks, when it comes to mama, that's a place, and that's something that I never thought that I would have to endure. The most trying time in my life is what I'm experiencing right now. But you know what? Either way, I'm going to overcome to finish and feed the Most High sheep. With that, again, I'm going to say the water for all your prayers, your well wishes, your text, your phone calls, and know that even beyond all of this, that we, the Gathering of Christ Church, me with the Gathering of Christ Church, is only going to go harder. Okay? We're only going to go harder. And folks, all of us, we're going to need each other. We're going to need each other. I'm going to be going into certain things this coming week. And when I say need each other, Satan have chose he have his side and his disciples and his minions. And Christ have those, his saints, who are being moved on either side. And everyone else is going to be moved out of the way until the great cataclysm. One other thing I wanted to break down before we go. And I want you all to see this. One other thing. And then I'll see you Wednesday if it be the Most High's will. One moment. Let me get it here. One second. Yeah, that's it. One second. And I'll be tackling this particular scripture and more between Wednesday and Sabbath. Let me show y'all something. One second. Check 1, 2. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let me pull it up. What time are we living in? I need y'all to look at this. Here's the time we're living in. Let me go straight to it. When you read Revelation 18, I hope you all can see that clearly here. When you read Revelations 18, when it speaks about the fall of Babylon, it says right here, and I'm going to read here in this area right here so you all can see it. Okay? In the Bible, it reads Revelation, the King James Version 18 and 23. It reads, "And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom." One moment, let me get rid of this. As you can see, all these pharmaceutical commercials popping up on every place, right? I'm going to show you. "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more." And that started when they redefined marriage and make it where men and women no longer would desire marriage. "At all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth." The merchants, the corporations. "For by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived." So there's a connection with what? The merchants, the money, the corporations and the sorceries. That's what they use to deceive all nations. And when you go into this Greek word, sorceries, when you go into the Greek word sorcery, brothers and sisters, let me pull it up for you. I'm going to show y'all something here. Wait till y'all see this. Wait till y'all see this, brothers and sisters. Look at this. When you pull up that word sorcery, it's what? Pharmacy. By the medication. Pharmacy. By the pharmacy. By the medication. By the administering, the use or the administering of drugs. Poisoning. Medication. Pharmacy. So it was prophesied in our Bible at the very end, folks, that the healthcare system would be used to deceive the world. Obamacare, the same man that redefined marriage in America. And also, what did he do? He set up, that's right, health care for all, to make a database where all of our medical scenarios would be accessible by any doctor, not just in America, that's right, throughout the earth. And here we go right here. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants, that's your corporations, were the great men of the earth. For by their sorceries, by their pharmacies, were all nations deceived. By the pharmacies, all nations were deceived. It's all Bible prophecy, folks. But the question is, who are you going to allow to take up resident in your temple? Huh? If you're going to believe them, okay, you're going to believe them, that's Satan taking up residence in your mind and taking over the temple that should belong to the Most High. It's deception. It's deception. And I'm going to be talking about that and more this coming Wednesday and Sabbath. No wonder the devil is angry. No wonder that he's trying to attack every place he can, operating in the earth like a roaring lion, trying to devour, trying to destroy everything that he can devour. No wonder. But the Most High, while I was asleep, before I woke up early in the morning, said, you know what? Ricardo, calm, relax. Relax. There's some things you can't fix. Feed my sheep, feed my lamb. I got the rest. You do your job. Here I am. And you know what? I'm ready. So thank you, brothers and sisters. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up, sin not. And I'm back on the horse. Well, I'm right back on there. That's right. Thank you for the prayers for my mama, for my family, and your well wishes and encouragements that's been sent this way for the last 2 weeks. But hey, I'm not going nowhere. Don't worry about it. Stay encouraged. Shalom. We're going to be talking about that. The Great Deception. I'll see you this Wednesday on GOCC NYC. We're only 1,500 subscriptions on this channel away from breaking that glass ceiling of 100,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. There's more to come. Once we get 100,000, we're going to move this thing into another. I got plans for this channel. That's why I'm keeping everything the way it is. So help me get it to 100,000. We're only 1,500 away from that glass ceiling of 100,000. They're doing everything to try to stop us from getting there. Check and make sure they haven't unsubscribed you too. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell everyone to come to this channel, A Gather 144, and let's push this thing over 100,000 so that we can now move this channel into the stratosphere before everything shuts down, right? With that, thank you all for your blessings and your prayer. May the Most High be with you.
Until your gray skies turn to blue.
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you.
See you Wednesday, okay?
Even when it seems the times are too hard, when the light at the end of the tunnel seems far, you just trust in your shine, believe on His word, and rejoice.
Rejoice. If you only believe you shall run and not be weary. Run till you shine. You shall